Passing on to the next topic, types of natural vegetation. Factors that influence natural vegetation are variation in climate, soil types, and relief feature. Students, please keep in mind these are the three factors that influence natural vegetation and its types. For example, Western Ghats and Andaman Nicobar Islands have tropical evergreen forest. The reason behind this is heavy rainfall. Himalayas have temperate vegetation. For example, the foothill region has deciduous forest, and according to the altitude, the type of vegetation changes. At a higher altitude, usually Himalayas have alpine type of vegetation. For example, coniferous trees. Rajasthan Thar Desert has thorny bushes. The reason for this is scanty rainfall. Anywhere, if the rainfall is scanty, definitely the region will support desert type of vegetation with a special adaptation like they have a thick trunk, hard stem, thorns in the place of leaves to prevent evapotranspiration, and the deltaic region has tropical and mangrove or tidal forest where most of the time the trunk or the stem and the roots are submerged or found under water. So, keeping all these factors in mind, let's classify the types of natural vegetation found in India. Like you have tropical evergreen forest, tropical deciduous forest, tropical desert forest or vegetation, tidal or littoral forest, and mountain vegetation or mountain forest. Tropical evergreen or rainforest. See, these forests or this type of forest is known as rainforest. Why? Because this is usually found in those regions that receive a rainfall of more than 250 centimeters on an annual scale. For example, the western slopes of Western Ghats and northeastern part of India receive an abundant rainfall of more than 250 centimeters of rainfall. So hence these region definitely has or have tropical evergreen forest. The trees in the evergreen forest have special characteristics. So usually they look evergreen. This is not because they do not shed their leaves. They do shed their leaves, but each tree has a different time of shedding leaves. But whatever it is always found evergreen. So hence these forests are called as evergreen forest. About their characteristics, they are dense, multi-layered with creepers and climbers. The trees reach a height of 60 meters. The trees in these forests do not have fixed time of shedding leaves. There is less undergrowth due to lack of sunlight. These are the very important characteristics of evergreen forest. Please students, you bear this in mind. There can be a question in board examination asking you to list the characteristics of tropical evergreen forest. They are dense, multi-layered with creepers and climbers. The trees reach a height of 60 meters. The trees in these forests do not have fixed time of shedding leaves. So this particular point you please keep in mind that this is the reason why the trees in these forests are called evergreen, and there is less undergrowth due to the lack of sunlight. The lack of sunlight is because of the density. The trees do not allow the sunlight to penetrate deep inside, and that's the reason why there is less undergrowth. There can also be a question like, why are the rainforest not commercially exploited? The same reasons can be quoted. They are dense and multi-layered. The trees are very, very tall, and it is very, very difficult to penetrate deep into the forest because of uneven terrain. Again, board examination point of view, they can ask you to list the important trees of tropical evergreen forest and their economic values. For example, rosewood, which is used for making furnitures, wagon parts, and wood carving. Ebony, which is again used for ornamental carvings, musical instruments, and manufacturing of sports goods. Mahogany, again, which is used for manufacturing of furniture, making boats and musical instrument. Gurjan, which is used for manufacturing or making of plywood. So please bear in mind, tropical evergreen forests are not commercially exploited because the timber is very hard. There are tangled masses of canes and climbers and lack of means of transport because these forest is concentrated along the steep slopes of the mountains or hills. Now, distribution of tropical evergreen forest: Western Ghats, Northeastern Hills, Andaman Nicobar Islands, and Lakshadweep. Western Ghats receive a rainfall of more than 250 centimeters, whereas Northeastern Hills receive an annual rainfall of more than 1200 centimeters on an annual scale, whereas Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Lakshadweep Islands, being under the equatorial type of climate, receive an annual rainfall of more than 250 centimeters. So hence tropical evergreen forests are found in these regions. Again, board examination point of view, an important question that can be asked is the geographical conditions favoring the tropical evergreen forest are like rainfall of more than 200 centimeters, temperature 25 to 27 degrees Celsius, and a very, very important factor, a humidity of more than 77%. Tropical deciduous forests. These forests are known as monsoon forests. Why? Because they are under the influence of monsoon. There are two types of deciduous forest, basically moist and wet deciduous forest. Moist deciduous, it is dry deciduous forest. Moist deciduous forest are the tropical deciduous forest which is most exploited because they are found in pure strands and has valuable timber like sandal and teak. Pure strand means a type of trees are found in a particular stretch and it becomes easy for the exploitation. And valuable timber like sandal and teak, as you all know, that has a great economic value. Why? Because it is used, or these timbers are used for constructional purpose and manufacturing or building ship. So in board examination they can ask you what are the characteristics of deciduous forest. See, please bear in mind there are no separate characteristics of moist and dry deciduous forest. So the general characteristics of deciduous forests are they shed their leaves for 6 to 8 weeks during spring and early summer. These trees are found in pure strands and they are commercially exploited. So one more point also can be added, that the leaves of the trees of deciduous forests are broad. Dry deciduous forests, these forests are found where the annual rainfall is scanty or less than 50 centimeter. Rajasthan Thar Desert is an example for deciduous or dry deciduous forest. Why? Because this comes under the rain shadow region of Aravalli Mountains. At the same time, the rain shadow region of Western Ghats. So the central Deccan Plateau has desert type of vegetation because of the scanty rainfall. The questions which can be asked in board examination: name the types of deciduous forest in India. There are two types, moist and dry. Mention the characteristics of deciduous forest. They are found in pure strands, they are broad-leaved, and they shed their leaves during the spring and early summer for 6 to 8 weeks. Why are deciduous forests commercially exploited? The only reason is that they are found in pure strands. Important trees of deciduous forests are saul, which is making for structural beams, railing of bridges, doors and windows, and railway sleepers. Why? Because saul is water resistant. Teak, again, which is used for constructional purposes, shipbuilding, and making furnitures and railway carriages. Keep in mind, students, they can ask you a question in board examination. Why is teak used for ship building? The only reason is that teak is water resistant and it doesn't allow the iron or metal to rust. Sandalwood, making statues and ornamental objects, making aromatic substances, extracting sandalwood oil. And you know that sandalwood oil is used in manufacturing of cosmetics, manufacturing of agarbattis and perfumes. Distribution: rain shadow region of Western Ghats, foothills of Himalayas, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka are the states where tropical deciduous forests are found in general. The next tropical desert forests are known as the thorn forest. Why? Because as I told you earlier, anywhere the rainfall is scanty or less than 50 centimeter has desert forest, and their adaptation is that they have hard resistant stem and thorns in the place of leaves to prevent evapotranspiration. Hence, tropical desert forests are also known as tropical thorn forest. Characteristics of desert forest, this is important board examination point of view. It has xerophytic vegetation due to paucity or scarcity of rainfall. Trees are stunted or short. Trees, shrubs, or plants are thorny with long taproots. This is to pull out water from the water table. Trees remain leafless for most part of the year to prevent evapotranspiration. Economic values of the trees found in desert, like bear, which can be eaten raw. Timber is usually strong and durable, which is used for making of boats and agricultural implements. Babul, it is used for manufacturing of toothpaste, so hence has medicinal value. Date palm, which has high iron content, is edible. It can be eaten raw. Neem, as you all know, that is a very, very important tree. Why? Because of its medicinal properties, used for making beauty products, and then, of course, insecticides. Neem also helps in curing skin diseases. Climatic conditions that support desert vegetation or forest: temperature of 25 to 27 degrees Celsius. This is very, very common all over India. Rainfall of less than 50 centimeters, humidity less than 47%. And the places where these types of forests found is southwest Punjab, Haryana, eastern Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, and southern states with low rainfall. Littoral or tidal forest, as I told you earlier, that these trees are found along the deltas, and their trunk and the roots are most of the time found underwater. Board examination point of view, they ask you the characteristics of the littoral or the tidal forest. They are evergreen with varying density and height. The trunks are supported by stilt roots that remain underwater during the high tides. There are tangles of climbers that help trees to survive under shifting sands or mud. The trees have breathing roots known as pneumatophores. Please bear this in mind, students. Important trees and their economic values: Sundari, which is used for construction purpose and boat making; Kyora, known as the shelter belt. Shelter belt, in sense, it can be the natural habitat or giving shelter to the animals. Amur has a medicinal value. Agar is used for manufacturing of perfumes. Climatic conditions: temperature 26 to 29 degrees Celsius, rainfall more than 200 centimeter, and like tropical evergreen forest, highly humid of more than 70%. Distribution: Andaman Nicobar Islands, West Bengal, Mahanadi, Krishna, Godavari, and Ganga Delta. Questions that can be asked in board examination: define mangrove forest, which is nothing but the tidal forest found along the river mouths of Ganga, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri. What are the important adaptations of trees in tidal forest? The adaptations are they are evergreen. They are supported by the stilt roots that remain underwater for most of the time and help them to survive under shifting sands can be the important adaptations of the trees found in the tidal forest. Mountain forest, they are also known as the mountain forest or the alpine vegetation or alpine forest. See, as you all know that according to the height, the temperature falls. So here the temperature plays a very, very important role in modifying the type of natural vegetation. As according to the altitude, the type of vegetation changes from deciduous to alpine. The characteristics of mountain forest. One has mixed species to broadleafed and coniferous are the part of the mountain vegetation. Deciduous forest at the foothills of Himalayas. So these are the two types of vegetation which comes under the mountain type. For example, at an altitude of 1000 to 2000 meter, moist temperate forests are found. In the northeastern Himalayas, broad-leaved evergreen forests are found, and at an altitude of 1500 meters above sea level to 1750 meters above sea level, coniferous trees are found. Mosses and lichens are found near the snow line. Important trees and their economic values, like you have spruce, which is used for manufacturing of paper and cardboard. Deodar is used for manufacturing of railway sleepers and construction purposes. Walnut is used for making edible oil, manufacturing of soaps, perfumes, and cosmetics. Jamun, again, which has medicinal values, is used for manufacturing of wine, vinegar from its fruits. Cedar is used for manufacturing of furnitures, aromatics, antibacterial and antifungal agent. Climatic conditions, temperature 12 to 13 degrees Celsius. Why? Because according to the altitude, the temperature falls, and at a higher altitude, usually the temperature is very less. Rainfall of more than 300 centimeters and humidity in a moderate line varying between 56 to 65%. Distribution, it is found along the entire Himalayan zone, peninsular region including Vindhyas, Nilgiris and Western Ghats.